welcome to another video. If you're new here, hi, welcome. My name is Irit. I'm a watercolor and mixed media artist, and on this channel I share all of my watercolor adventures. Today we will be painting some more, so grab your supplies. But before we get into that, I just wanted to explain in words my thinking process as I'm sitting down for another painting session. And I hope this will also kind of help you get into the habit of just having a little bit of self-awareness and reflection, and just like making some mental notes or actual notes if you prefer that, of what is working for you, what you're loving, what is not. So let's get into that, and then we will be painting again. I don't know what. I'm thinking I'm still in the Greece state of mind, but I'm not sure, so we'll see. So let's talk a little bit about my palette. So this is my usual palette that you've seen me use for the last year and a half probably, and it comes with a metal insert, which is this thing. It's a kind of a standard 24 half pan, 12 full pan insert that you find in metal tins, but it fits perfectly in this palette. It comes with it when you buy it, and you can find it in my shop. Lots of you have bought this palette and gave me great feedback, so I'm really happy that other people are also enjoying this. I took it out when I was traveling just to kind of reduce the weight, because we were, you know, flying with like low-cost airline and every kilogram costs. So I took out the insert, and I haven't felt the need to put it back. I'm really enjoying my somewhat limited, you know, for some people this is not very limited, but for me it is limited, color story, and I'm also enjoying having the extra space for mixing. So this is what's working for me right now. I don't know, I'll probably put back the insert at some point and maybe try some new colors. Now, as for the colors, most of these are colors that I have been using regularly for a long time and loving. So I don't feel that there's anything redundant here. I did have, yeah, maybe that's not true. I did have a couple of new additions, and one of them was Rose of Ultramarine. It's here, and I do like it, and I think I might keep it in this well. So I am enjoying it, and I think I'm using it also. Maybe not heavily, but I do use it. It's really not a problem to create Rose of Ultramarine. If memory serves it, I know it has ultramarine blue, like the pigment that they make ultramarine blue from, PB29, and I'm pretty sure also by the name that they have quinacridone rose. Both of these colors are colors that I always have in my palette, or almost always. So this could be kind of redundant. I could probably mix my own version. But it's a nice convenience color, and I have a tube of it, so I wanted to kind of use it. The other ones are kind of staples. This one is also a new addition. This is Amazonite Genuine from Daniel Smith. Rose of Ultramarine is also a Daniel Smith color. So this one is kind of a turquoise that is, you can see it, it's like less bright and less opaque than Cobalt Teal, which is what is right next to it. I don't know, it hasn't been working for me, and I'm not sure I need it. So yeah, I don't know. Mostly I find myself reaching for Cobalt Teal, as you can see in my paintings. So yeah, not sure if that's a winner for now. And then another addition is a color that I have loved for a long time, ever since I got it. I think it's an amazing color, but I haven't been able to make it work for me until now. And now I'm really enjoying it. And it is, if memory serves, it's like a huge name. I want to say Burnt Scarlet Genuine. Hematite, there's something, Hematite, Burnt Scarlet Genuine, something like this. And you can see it really nicely here. So I'm really happy that you can see it. It is so gorgeous. It has the kind of the base color, I would say, is almost like a pale pink. And then it has that really strong, almost black or black granulation. And I think it's beautiful, and I feel like for the first time I've managed to make it work with the other colors that I enjoy painting with. So really, really happy about it. It currently has quite a small well, and I'll have to refill it soon. I have also been using my other dark colors are Dusk Pink from Rembrandt and Moonglow from Daniel Smith. I've been using them a little bit less, but I've still been using them. So it's not a complete replacement because this one doesn't get as dark as easily as these two, but I've been really enjoying it, and I'm so, so happy that I finally managed to incorporate it into my paintings. So these last like 3 versions that I've made of my kind of impressions and memories of the Greek islands, I think my favorite is the small one, this one. I might add it to the shop. I'm a little bit kind of attached to it, but that only means I should share it, and you know, maybe other people would also like to have this hanging in their homes. Future editing, Irit stepping in here with a little update about this painting. So I actually recorded this video a couple of weeks ago, and last week I decided in a very spontaneous action for myself to put some of my original artwork for the first time on sale in my shop, and I was so, so grateful and excited that a couple of pieces have already sold, and this one is one of them. And thank you so much to the person that fell in love with this painting, because I know I love it and it brings me so much joy, and I hope it brings this person as much joy as it does. So thank you very much. You know who you are, and I am currently in the process of packaging this very lovingly. And for those of you who are also interested to purchase, if you're interested in purchasing an original piece of artwork, I would be honored. There are a few more available in the shop. 2 of the smaller ones sold. So there are a couple more, I think 2 or 3 more smaller paintings. These are original paintings, not prints, one of a kind. I haven't made any prints, and I don't plan to, so you will be the only person in the world that has these. And the smaller ones cost $250, and then the larger ones cost $500. All the details about the size and everything are on the website. This one is 30 by 40 centimeters, and that includes also shipping, which is quite substantial, especially overseas. And so you don't have any like surprises when you check out. And I know how annoying it is when you buy something and then you put it in your cart and then you discover that the shipping is more than the item. So no, I included the shipping cost in the price. And yeah, I would be very honored if you chose to have one of my pieces in your home. It makes me incredibly happy. And yeah, I hope this is the beginning of, you know, another new journey for me. And I have piles and piles of paintings, and I've just been kind of not sure what to do. I mean, obviously my whole, you know, mission statement is to spread the watercolor joy, and I mostly do that by teaching and sharing my adventures and lessons, you know, that I've learned myself on my YouTube channel. And yeah, but this is another way of sharing that joy, which is to have my artwork out in the world, bringing joy to people. So drinking game, you can sip some coffee every time I say joy. But yeah, so that's the update. Another little update is my stamps. They will be restocking very, very soon. And when I say soon, I mean soon. They exist. They are in the warehouse where they will soon be ready to ship. It's just kind of a matter of, you know, how do you say, dotting the I's and whatever you do with the T's. The phrase escapes me right now. But it'll be very, very, it might be when this video goes up, they might already be ready for purchasing. So just check the information below. And also sign up for my newsletter so that you know quantities are very, very limited. I'm not saying this as like a marketing strategy or anything. They are limited. So if you're interested, don't wait, because they will sell out. And yeah, that's it. Let's get back into painting, get back to all the painting and the watercolor chat. And yeah, I had the best time painting it. And then the second one that I made was this one, and obviously it's larger. It's also lighter, which I think I like. I think what I will do here is take a good photo of this and kind of crop it nicely so that I can see it on the screen. I find it really, really helps me to locate problems in paintings. What I'm seeing right now, also through the camera screen, is that I need more darker values here. I mean, as you can see here, this dome that is kind of my focal point is much, much darker. It has a lot of that saturated French ultramarine color, and this one is quite lighter. So maybe just a few brush strokes of ultramarine blue. On the other hand, I do like the kind of light feel of it, but I still feel kind of this is getting lost, especially next to all of these colors, because there's not enough pop here. So actually, I'm gonna put my money where my mouth is. I'm gonna grab a brush, and I think for these, when I want a more saturated and kind of accurate placement of color, I don't want like a big brush that will hold a lot of water. So just gotta go for it. And this brush, I have another version that is much easier to find, but I don't know. It's easier to find when you're shopping, but not necessarily easier to find in my room. And I will try to remember to link you to it. This one in particular comes in a set, and this is the Tintoretto Sintetico Ambra 897. This is made in Italy, and the number of this brush is 6, and it's just perfect. Like, I love it. You can do like details with it. You can make these like dramatic brush strokes that I think just look so energetic, and like bring kind of movement to your painting. And yeah, I really, really like it. And now I'm thinking maybe I'll try a little bit, just mix it a little bit with dusk pink, and just to make things a little bit more dramatic here in the center, and maybe add just a little bit more detail. Okay, I'm liking this, but I feel like I have to kind of a little bit let it talk with other areas of the painting. So I'm gonna go back to pure French ultramarine and add it a little bit here. One of the things that are really important, like to me, that I think really make my paintings work or look more finished or cohesive is kind of repetition, and having, you know, if you put one color somewhere, I feel like you have to also put it in other places to make things work, so that the viewer's eye kind of wanders from one place to the other. Sometimes splatters are just like a super easy way of doing that, because you don't have to figure out like where to put a line. And yeah, I can just add it. It doesn't have to be major, it can be very subtle. I'm thinking just maybe here, I don't want, like this is a bit too harsh. So I added a little bit of the hematite scarlet thing. And I can look at my other paintings and kind of see what I liked about them, and maybe add that here. So maybe I'll actually, sometimes it's really hard to make things bigger. Wait, I'll remove, let this lay flat. And here I can look, they kind of have a little bit of a different feel to them, like these two. And there's a lot more, you can see there's a lot more pink here in the middle. So maybe I can just grab a little bit and see how I feel about it. I don't want to go to a larger brush because I don't want to overdo things and I don't want to make puddles. This is now about like accents. There's enough going on here and I don't want to risk overworking things. I'm just going to put this to the side. My other painting, I don't want to depend on it too much, but I want to still like be able to consult with it. It's just I don't want like these areas to take away like all the attention. I feel like I need things here to happen. So maybe let's try and just like pump it up a little bit and maybe go with some of that Rose of Ultramarine. Just so much fun. I already signed this, which is very rare for me, but it doesn't mean that I can't go back. And my kind of philosophy, if I feel like going back to a painting and I'm not super happy with the way that it is, that means that it's worth it for me to take risks and potentially ruin what was going on, and just, you know, try other things that might possibly make it better. Because if I'm not happy with it, I don't think that's going to change. So might as well take some risks, make some mistakes, and maybe actually, you know, create something really better than it was before, or not. I had the sweetest, nicest comment on the previous video that I appreciated it so much. It was by a person that said they were Greek and the colors that I used really kind of spoke to them, and yeah, it's just like conveyed a lot of things and, you know, elements and colors that you can find in the islands where we went to, which I don't know how to pronounce it. So it's that group of islands of like Mykonos and Paros and Naxos and all that area. And I want to say Cyclades, I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm sorry. I need to figure that out. But yeah, it made me so happy. Okay, a little bit of teal because I only see teal here. And I kind of want, as I said, I want to have like a nice balance. So a little bit of teal and then maybe a pop of green, because why not? And just, if it's too much, I can splatter a little bit on it and kind of soften it so it looks more kind of haphazard. And yeah, I think I'm liking what I have going on here, and I might stop. Can I stop? I'm not sure I can. Okay, I think I will stop and start a new painting. So for that part, I will just probably fast forward or narrate so I can focus on the painting. Well, as you can see, I didn't stop there. I really felt I needed a bit of darkness under that dome there to kind of separate these two elements, make it look a little bit, I don't know, that it kind of makes sense, or I don't know, it's just something about it. It just needed something else. So I went in with some darker colors and I really like how that turned out. And then I'm going to leave it alone and start a new painting. But this was so much fun. And also looking at it now, it makes me really, really happy to see all these colors. So here we are starting a new painting. This one is a small one, and I was still in those arches mood, and I decided I wanted kind of to go more into the Cobalt Violet, kind of step away a little bit from that very, very saturated ultramarine or French ultramarine, and kind of focus more on Cobalt Violet, which is my favorite color. And this painting is actually also in the shop, and these colors make me so happy. So let's talk a little bit about Cobalt Violet. You probably, if you've been here for a while, then you've heard me talk a lot about it. Cobalt Violet is one of my absolute favorite colors, but it turns out, I don't know why I'm surprised. It's so obvious that I would really, really love something problematic or difficult. So it is a very, very hard pigment to formulate as watercolor paint. And I have tried many versions. So my problem is that actually the brands that do such a good job of formulating their paints, for example, Schmincke, which I think really, I don't think Schmincke does anything wrong. I've never had a dud from Schmincke, but they have a Cobalt Violet, but their Cobalt Violet is very blue. And I like my Cobalt Violet more on the kind of pinkish violet, like this, like the one I have now. And Lucas, for example, another German brand that also formulates their paints very nicely and is extremely affordable, also has a blue version of Cobalt Violet. So I think half of the brands make my kind of shade. The Daniel Smith one is, in my opinion, completely useless. Maybe fresh from the tube, but I mostly paint from reconstituted paint or re-wetted paint. And the Daniel Smith one is just ridiculously anemic. And a few other brands that I've tried and I didn't like. M-Gram actually also has a lot of binder in it, and it's again a blue Cobalt Violet. From M-Gram, I would prefer their ultramarine pink, which is beautiful. It's a little bit more pink and a little bit more muted than my kind of Cobalt Violet, but it's just a beautiful color. So who makes a more pinkish Cobalt Violet? We have Daniel Smith, which I talked about. We have Core, which I've also tried, again, full of binder. We have Rembrandt, which is what I currently use because it is very affordable in Europe. They have the large tube. The formulation is okay. It's not perfect, but yeah, it's local to me and it's vegan. And the other one that I really, really love, but I stopped using because I switched to vegan art supplies or watercolors, is the Winsor & Newton one. The Winsor & Newton one is the best Cobalt Violet, in my opinion, the most beautiful shade, the best formulation. I recommend, if you're not familiar with this color, don't buy a tube, buy a pan. If you think you would like it, then buy a full pan, invest in a full pan. The pans are usually less problematic because, I don't know, the formulation is different and they just aren't so full of binder. My experience have showed me that this paint with Cobalt Violet just tends to get very, very dry. So it seems like the manufacturers have to add a lot of binder to keep it, workable and moist and not just like a block of pigment stone. And that creates these tubes that are just full of binder. So buy a pan, that's what I would recommend. If you don't mind using products that are not vegan, try the Winsor & Newton one. And if you do like, or if you also buy vegan-friendly art materials, then try the Rembrandt one. Buy the pan. If you like it, then you might consider using or getting a tube at later stage. But yeah. Okay, that was a lot of talking about one color. In the meantime, I was adding other colors, and that joyful little color mixing area to the right of my arches. And also the arches are just like mixtures of Cobalt Violet with Naples Yellow, which is another favorite of mine. And I just love the shades that these two make. And you can see again, I'm using this beautiful hematite burnt scarlet. You can even see the separation in my palette. That pink kind of base color with that dramatic granulation is such a pretty color. And I'm so happy that I can incorporate it into my color stories, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So a lot of the same elements that I've had in previous paintings, including in this video that you saw, but just like repeated in a little bit different way, different dosage, and a lot of Cobalt Violet. I'm not mad about that. It makes me very happy. And yeah, what else do I have to say about it? Not a lot. So, I also wanted to say about, I think, some changes that are coming to my channel. I just think I will start to make videos that are, I don't know, a bit formulated differently, because I think it's sometimes a bit of, what I'm trying to say, it kind of gets lost in this format of video for two reasons. First of all, because I'm just like blabbing, and I admit that it's mostly kind of chain of thought and very random thoughts. But also, it's a little bit all over the place, and I want to make videos that, and I'm all over the place. So this is actually a very good representation of me. But I just want to make some videos like talking about some very common issues in watercolor. I feel like the medium is, it's intimidating for a lot of people, and there's a lot of like traditional painting, traditional techniques, a lot of rules, and I just want to talk about that and kind of have more focused videos where I actually know what I'm gonna say, and they're just a bit more planned and a bit more constructed and more kind of informative. So stay tuned for that. Also some videos that are more beginner friendly. I've also stepped away from that, and I know there are always people who are just newly introduced to watercolors, and I want to talk to them also, and hopefully save you, if you're one of those people, kind of save you a lot of the time and pain that some of us encounter in our watercolor journey. So hopefully that is coming. I also want to do a gift guide, of course, because the holiday season is soon upon us, and I have a lot of products that, some of them I've talked about in the past, but I want to do a more updated version and tell you what I still think is amazing, what I still think would be a gorgeous gift, and help you create your wish list for the holidays, or, shop for your watercolor mixed media artist friends. So here are some close-ups. Oh, look at that gorgeous granulation. Cobalt Violet Joy. You can find this painting in my shop. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon in another video. Take care. Have a wonderful weekend. Bye bye.